Hey guys, welcome back. I feel like it's been forever since we've done a weekly discussion video, even though we only took about a week off to do something a little different. But I like doing these. It's easy to do on my drive in the morning to work. And this week, we're talking why mechanics drive shit cars. We kind of did the discussion a few weeks ago, or a while ago on the weekly discussion about new cars versus old cars and which is better. Now, again, all this stuff, guys, that I'm saying is a lot of it's supposed to be advice and a lot of it's opinion driven, so it's my own opinion based on my own experiences. It's not me saying that I'm right and you're wrong, but if you watch that video, I'll put that video right here. I personally like driving the older vehicles. Now, yes, there's some things that I'd love to have new. I'd love to have a brand new Tundra. I'd love to have an S197, so a newer Mustang. But as far as just reliability, if we're just talking daily driving reliability, I like the older stuff better because there's less stuff, which means less stuff to go wrong. If you're a mechanic, let me let you kind of stew on this a little bit. You're working on people's cars. When you get into this field, you're working on people's cars every day. And more than likely you got into this field because you do, or at some point you cared about cars and you're a car guy, right? Okay, so now let me ask you this. In your time spent as an automotive technician, has it ever bothered you when you see a car that's neglected? I know me, it breaks my heart. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a car that I would buy or a car that I would like, but if it's like a newer car or like a higher end car or just, anything that's fairly nice and I see it being neglected or, something should really be done and they don't do it, it drives me nuts. It kind of hurts my heart a little bit. It hurts right in here. But it's because we care about cars and we are passionate about automobiles, and that, I don't know, it kind of takes it. It makes it a little stressful, and I don't necessarily like that. The other thing is, okay, so the beauty of driving one of these cars is that you don't really have to care about it. You've been on ride-alongs in my Camry before, in a couple of videos, maybe there's a little snippet of it somewhere, I don't know. But it's a 1996 Camry, and it's not terrible, but it's got a little bit of rust, and it's got a couple dings. It's enough to where I don't have to care about it. And I love that. That's the beauty of it. When I had my F-150, it wasn't new, but it was like a 2006, and I bought it in 2013, I got it in 2014. So it was fair at the time. It was only the second to newest body style, so it was nice and it was lifted and had nice tires and wheels on it. That thing was stressful for me. As soon as I'd see I'm like, oh my god, is that a door ding? Oh, is that a bug? Oh my god, it's gonna rust. It's the winter in Minnesota. But this thing, I don't care, and it's great. It's not bad enough to where I'm embarrassed to be seen in it. It's not like a complete pile, but it's just deteriorated. It's just deteriorated enough to where I don't have to care. And when you work on people's cars all day long and you see people neglecting their cars, and I don't know, at least me, it kind of bugs me. It's really nice to hop into a car when you're done that you don't have to worry about. And a lot of these older cars, like I said, less technology, they're pretty reliable. So it's just like a bulletproof piece of crap that I don't have to worry about. And I really enjoy that. The other thing is, for me, this is just me personally, I put a ton of miles on. I drive, like we've talked about before, 24 miles into work every day, 24 miles back, if that's all I do. So I'm not going to buy a brand new pickup or a new car and put that kind of mileage on it. I'm just not. But I really think just when you're working on cars day in and day out, it's really nice to get into something and, this thing has its fair share of problems. You heard the exhaust. I need to put a flex pipe on it, which brings me to my next point. So that flex pipe that I bought has been sitting on my toolbox for about 3 months now. At the end of the day, I don't want to tinker on cars anymore. I just want to go do something else. I'll be there for 12 hours sometimes, and I'm just fried. So, and the water pump, that's a funny story. The other funny thing is the water pump's leaking really bad. And these aren't hard to do, time belt water pump on these. It's cake, but it's kind of messy, and the water pump was just replaced when I bought it with a Toyota water pump, and the timing belt was replaced, and somehow it's just a fluke and it leaks. I just check it and make sure it's not too bad, and again, that's really pathetic. But that brings me to my next point, is that at the end of the day, it's the last thing you want to do is touch another car. So if you drive a car that's kind of old and not so great, it doesn't bug you when you don't do the stuff that needs to be done right away. And I'm not talking about oil changes and stuff like that, but I just mean like if there's some flaws that are annoying, or if there's some flaws that are annoying or that should be fixed, you don't have to worry about getting to it instantly because it's an older car and it doesn't really bother you. So you kind of have that time where if you just want to say, screw it, I'm going home, I don't want to work on it, I don't want to see another car today, then you don't have to worry about it. So I also think part of me thinks that when you're a mechanic, I think part of me also thinks that when you're an automotive technician, you kind of take a certain pride in keeping something running versus replace it. So I think there's a little piece of us that when we drive this kind of stuff, it's like, oh, I'm keeping that thing on the road. It's still running. It's 25 years old. It's whatever. And because I'm tinkering on it, you take a sense of pride in being able to keep a usable piece of equipment or a usable car on the road for a longer period of time. So this has been why mechanics drive crappy cars, and I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe you all are out there driving Escalades. You work at a GM and you driving Escalades, and I just picked the wrong dealership because the used car I got was a Camry. I don't know. But let me know what you think. If you're a mechanic, you drive a nice car, good for you. You want to tell me what you're doing? This has been the Automotive Discussion of the Week. See you next time.